Okay, today's morning medicine is three of them. They're small, but important. Let's see. So, Galanthus nivalis, snowdrop. Galega, which is goat's rue. And Gallium Aparine, which is goosegrass or clever, which is that plant that sticks to your that plant's a pain in my butt. It sticks to your clothes. It sticks to your animals. My dog, we're always picking these little BBs off from that goosegrass or clever. So Galanthus nivalis, and I wanted to point out that the Galega is good for kidney stones and things. So that's one of the hardest parts of homeopathic medicine is we've got so many medicines for the same situation. And, you have to choose between them. So that can be the one of the difficulties. And the other difficulty is getting symptoms from people because they don't know how to answer you because you ask them, what's it feel like? Well, I got a headache. Okay, but what's it feel like? They don't know to say it's pounding or it's throbbing or it feels like a band around my head or, and all these things are important. So that's the other hard thing is to pull out some symptoms from people because they just they don't understand, how to answer you. They're thinking allopathically, I got a headache. So give me an aspirin, you know? Okay, so Galanthus nivalis, snowdrop. I looked that plant up. I didn't see it in the books, but I did see it on my phone, which was, let's see, let me get a picture of it. I'm going to give pictures today because, what is it? Snowdrop. Snowdrop. Is that what the heck the name of that was? Yeah. So let's see. That's the snowdrop plant. Okay. And obviously it grows in the snow. What the heck's the information on it? Let's see. Okay, bury the bulbs about 3 inches. Okay, the best time to order the plant. Okay, whether you are looking to purchase shop bulbs, what's it good for? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Soil preparation. Well, I've got it in there. It doesn't tell me anything that it's good for. I thought I had that before. Let's see. Snowdrop, whether looking for purchase the bulb, shop the bulbs, the plants, explore varieties. Let's do this. What is snowdrop good for medically? What is snowdrop good for medically? What the heck is going on here? What is snowdrop good for medically? There we go. Finally. And snowdrop galanthus are highly toxic. So galantamine, Alzheimer's disease, and mild dementia. So there's another Alzheimer's. So I've got hyoscyamus is one for Alzheimer's. There's a few other ones. Anyways, there's another one that's good for it, but it's toxic. So pharmacies use it, but homeopathically you can use it, but you definitely can't use it for in an herb because it is toxic. It's a nerve agent. Plant has been helped to treat traumatic injuries in the nervous system. Historically, folk healers steeped wild snowdrop leaves and bulbs to create treatments for headaches, migraine, and nerve pain. Because the raw plant is poisonous, do not attempt to consume snowdrops or make your own home remedies from them. Modern pharmaceutical forms are highly purified for safety. So, and like I said, I would say homeopathically, you definitely can use it. So let's see what it says homeopathically. Proving by Dr. A. Whiting, therapeutically decided benefit in cases of mitral regurgitation. So that's the valve is uh, leaking blood back into the atrial, I think it is, and anyways, the blood's leaking back in or causing heart problems with broken down compensation. So the heart is a big one for this Galanthus Nivalis. Let's see, Galanthus Navalis, myocarditis. What the heck was myocarditis again? Which is the valve stuff. Let's see. Let's do this again. Myocarditis. And that's why I say you don't need to know all this stuff. Inflammation of heart muscle, of course. So, systolic murmur. Systolic is the the blood being pushed through. Pulse is irregular, rapid, and violent palpitations. Galanthus Navalis has faintness and sinking sensation, so they're not getting the blood. That's things are not working with the heart. Myocarditis, as I say, with some degree of mitral insufficiency, so the valve's not working. Systolic murmur at apex, sore, dry throat with dull headache. So that's what I'd be more looking for. Half conscious, so they're not fully there, and they're not fully with it, and worried feeling during sleep, so they're have anxiety during their sleep. Heart is weak with sensation of collapse as if she must fall, so faintness there. Pulse very irregular, rapid, uneven, violent palpitations. So I would look at what's the other one? Hawthorn berry, which is Crataegus. Of course, now Galanthus Galanthus Navalis. I'd be thinking of heart problems, and there's a few other ones. So when you look up the heart problems, Galanthus, I don't doubt as one that's not a regular medicine, because it's you're more like Crataegus. Crataegus was a big digitalis is another one for the heart. So there's many other major heart remedies, and this one here, if you're trying the other ones and they're not working, this one might be considered. I'm sure I don't have it, but it could be effective if you're not having any success with the other normal ones. Galega, which is goat's rue. Let's see what goat's rue. Galega, milk gland stimulant. So a woman that's got to be breastfeeding, their milk's not working right, you would give Galega, or what's it called? Goat's rue. Appetite stimulant also. So not only does it stimulate the glands of the breast, but also it stimulates the appetite. Good for backaches, especially in the kidney region with no kidney disease. So there's no kidney problems, but they got this aching back there. I don't know what that's all about, but it doesn't say enduring menses or anything like that, but they just have this back pain. Galega, as its name implies, has an ancient reputation as milk gland stimulant. I don't know what Galega means in whatever language that's in. The Galeg, or nearly related to Glycyrrhiza, the well-known source of licorice. So is that from the licorice plant? But this is what they make licorice out, that Glycyrrhiza or Galega. Caron de, all these words, Caron de la Carriere, anyways, this French guy tested its action on the milk glands of nursing women. He found it rapidly increased the quantity and quality of the milk and increased the woman's appetite. Doretta, another homeopath, I guess, gave Galega in liquid extract of the leaves for common form of backache, which he located in the kidneys, though it is unaccompanied by any sign of kidney disease. So it helped backache in the kidney region. It helped with the milk of the woman, and increased the milk and increased the appetite. The medicine is an excellent tonic in cases of anemia and impaired nutrition. So any nutritious stuff, like I said, silica, and there's a few other ones that are great for lack of nutrition, whether it's from not getting the nutrition or from not being able to absorb the nutrition. Backache and debility increases the quantity and quality of milk in nursing women. It also improves the appetite. Okay, let's get that out. Let's get this out. Galega goat's rue is right there. That's what goat's rue looks like. Okay, and let's see. Oopsie. Galega goat's rue. Oh, I lost the page. Dagnabbit. There it is. And it says medicinal virtues. It is accounted cordial, pseudophoric, and all this stuff. It is good against pestilential distemper. So some kind of pestilence with distemper. Expelling the venom through the pores of the skin. So somebody bit by a pest, bug or whatever, and gets distemper, and is of use in all kinds of fevers, smallpox and measles. So why that's not, the test they did on women. It needs more proving to figure out, if you see this in they're using it herbally, and you're seeing fevers, smallpox, measles, all that, and it kills any kind of pestilence that you were bit by. It will kill worms and cure the bites of all kinds of venomous creatures. Some commend a decoction of it for the gout. So, obviously goat's rue or galega needs more proving done to it. That's why I say a lot of these medicines are proven to an extent, but they could use a major blind study done on a lot of them to find out what else it's good for, especially when the herbalists say it's good for fevers, smallpox, measles, kills worms, good for any venomous bites, gout, all that. The modern use, the herb was official in the United States pharmacopoeia. So yes, we used to have an herbal pharmacopoeia, and that was done away with by Rockefeller, Carnegie, and that Faulkner, who did that report and said, oh, this stuff is unproven, it's not good, we need to get rid of it and make our medicines out of chemicals. Especially a lot of our medicines are oil-based stuff, which helps who? It helps Rockefeller. The plant is collected while in flower and flowering tops dried. The seeds are also used. An infusion made from the flowers promotes the flow of milk in nursing mothers. That's what we got here with the homeopathic, and is also anti-diabetic. The dried herb powdered is diuretic and is taken in doses of 5 to 20 grams. So that diuretic is you're urinating more, which is, where a lot of diabetics have a problem. It also induces perspiration and thus will help to reduce temperature in fevers. So that's why I say it needs to be more proven more, because fevers, smallpox, measles, all that kind of stuff it can be good for. So that's Galega. Let's go with Gallium now, Aparine. So that's why I say these medicines, they're proven somewhat, but they need a bigger proving, especially, like I said, when this one says it's good for measles, the old herbalists were using it for measles and smallpox and any kind of fevers, venomous spider bites and things like that, worms, gout, all this should be filled in for that. There should be gout in the limb area, kidney stuff. Yeah, kidney stuff. There should be kidney stuff. There should be, backache. All this stuff should be in there, and there should be more like venomous spider bites, gout. Gout would be probably in the limbs. So, anyways, yeah, it definitely needs more of a proving homeopathically. Hopefully we're going to have a golden age of homeopathy again, because we've had it in the end of the 1800s to the beginning of the 1900s, until Rockefeller and them guys put a kibosh on it and said, no more. We're going with the chemical medicines because there's a ton of money to be made. And anyways, now, as we're seeing, like, a lot of people are getting a little, what do you want to say, a little upset with, sorry, I was watching my buddy the squirrel jumping from tree to tree out there. A little or maybe it's a chipmunk. anyways, people are starting to realize, geez, these drugs I'm taking, they're not curing me. Actually, a lot of times they're not helping me. They help a bit, but they're not really helping me. I got side effects from them, and people are starting to say, you know what, I'm going more natural. Now I always say consult with your doctor all the time, but they're not versed in diet. They're not versed. A lot of times they're not versed in diet. They're not versed in um, herbal medicine or homeopathic medicine or anything other than the chemical medicines, which can be life saving. But if they're, if you have an infection and you just keep taking an antibiotic, you're never going to stop yourself from having these infections and that. So, you know, people are realizing that there is alternatives that can really help, and you don't have to be stuck on them, especially homeopathy. Homeopathy, you take that stuff, and 9 times out of 10, once you take it long enough to overcome the condition you're in, you don't need the medicine anymore. So yeah, it's and that's why homeopaths sort of struggle. They need a new client all the time because they're always curing people. Unlike allopaths, they don't need another client because that client's going to keep coming back month after month for the same medicines to keep, and it's a money making system. So, but is there cures with it? You think about cancer with the radiation. They irradiate people, and it takes care of it for that time. They get sick, and then they get well, and then a lot of times it comes back. So what's the other one? Oh, I got the wrong thing here. Gallium Aparine. Geez, I know I had that. Gallium. What the heck are you? Oh, Gallium. Galega. What the heck are you? Huh. Thought I had Gallium in here. Anyways, um, let's see. So it's very easy to look up. Goat's root. What is it? Gallium. Goosegrass. There it is. Goosegrass. Good goosegrass. 48. I did have it there. Under 48. Sorry about this. Yeah, goosegrass or clovers, which that's what it looks like. And it sticks to everything, so you can't miss it. So clovers, where to find it? Did I do Gallium up here? Galega? Yeah, okay. We'll get to the homeopathic. Medicinal virtues. The juice of the herb and seed together, taken in wine, helpeth those bitten by the adder, by a snake, by preserving the heart from the venom. So someone gets bit by a snake, you start taking infusions, which is just a water infusion of uh, clever, goosegrass, Gallium Aparine. Let's see. The distilled water drunk twice a day helpeth the yellow jaundice. So good for jaundice. So obviously kidney stuff. The decoction of the herb stays laxus and bloody fluxes. So bleeding. The juice of the leaves or the bruised leaves applied to a wound stayeth the bleeding. Boiled in hog's grease. It helps all sorts of hard swelling. So you can not hard. You don't have to do hog's grease. You can do beeswax and things like that. Make salve out of it, or kernels in the throat when anointed. So any kind of hard swellings, throat problems there. Modern uses. An important remedy in modern practice, Gallium is a soothing, relaxing diuretic. There you go, urine again, and is therefore employed as an infusion in cystitis, which is bladder stuff, in doses of 2 to 4 tablespoons, 3 or 4 times a day. It can also be combined for this purpose with demul, demul, demulcents, such as marshmallow, another plant, in equal parts. So, marshmallow and clovers can help with a lot of diuretic stuff, a lot of kidney stuff. It is extensively used in internal treatment of skin diseases such as psoriasis and eczema. So you take it internally for eczema and psoriasis. It acts on the lymphatic system. There's a big one. It will help clean out the lymphatic system, get it working right. The juice is a powerful diuretic and useful in dropsy. Dropsy is fluid retention. Dosage varies. The herb is considered to have an anti-tumor property, but there is an as yet insufficient evidence to support this. Tinctures and fluid extracts are usually obtainable from herbalists. So that's clever. It's good for a lot of the kidney stuff, fluid retention, gland, lymphatic system. It'll reset the lymphatic system, help that get working right. So great herb for a lot of that. Gallium, cancer, can be good for cancer, like he said, tumors, but not proven fully. But I would imagine we did some proving on it. Scrofulous swellings, which is tubercular swellings of glands that are swollen. So that can even be the lymph glands that are swollen, and ulcers, any kind of ulcers on the skin, and that. Diuretic, so that helps the urine to start flowing, get rid of that dropsy or that fluid retention. Dissolving stones and gravel. Now this is why I say this, there's so many medicines. A lot of medicines have this. It'll dissolve stones and gravel. I wonder if I can't see, and that's the thing. My dad's on certain medicines, and I can't take that goosegrass, make a drink out of it, and give it back to him. You can't do herbal medicine with allopathic medicine. But I can take this goosegrass. I don't have as Gallium, Aparine, and I homeopathically, and give it to him because it won't interact with the medicines he's on. But right now I gave him berberis, which is a good kidney remedy, and more for bladder and that, but it didn't seem to affect the kidney stone because it's still at 11 millimeters, which is quite a large stone. Now this says dissolve stones, so I may just have to get some Gallium homeopathically and give it to him and see if that'll dissolve the stone. Because I'm giving him berberis. I gave him, now I'm giving him benzoic acid, and that one doesn't say dissolve stones, but it's for kidney stones. So this may be one that I may want to go to because it's at 11 millimeter, and I noticed in the toilet there is sand in the toilet, so I don't doubt this is what's coming out. He's got a lot of gravel. So he's, probably, usually you're acidic in that, and you got too much, you're drinking too much milk and all that kind of stuff, which will cause that. Tongue cancer, good for tongue cancer. That's where the cancer basically comes in. Dysuria, which is lots of peeing. Cystitis, which is bladder stuff. Skin disorders. Scurvy, got a lot of vitamin C in there. So if you took that plant, did an infusion in water, just let it soak in water, you can get a lot of vitamin C from it, which may come in handy if they ruin the whole our food intake, which who knows what's going on these days. And healthy granulation. Granulation is the healing of wounds. So you got a wound that won't heal, and that's where these ulcers and scrofulous swellings and stuff come up. It'll help heal those wounds. It's good for that. All right, that's I'm relaxing now. Sorry, you can look at my room, the rest of my room. A lot of these, this here says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. You always have to have things around that make you feel, they keep you upbeat. And then this thing here is a little tennis racket I hang from this light. It says, trust your crazy ideas. And my crazy idea is to get homeopathic medicine into everybody's mind and then to get it into their hands. And then, of course, I wrote down some actions I need to perform. What's his name? What's his name? If you look him up, Bruce Lee, he did a goal thing, like I will spread homeopathic medicine to everyone in the U.S. Then I will continue spreading the word worldwide. And then how much I'll make and how much will go on and all this stuff. So you always look at that morning and night, before you go to bed. The what is it? I'm going to finish this medicine in a minute. But Job talks about before you go to bed, prepare yourself for the night, because in that night is when everything will be realized to you, or something. I forget exactly how it goes. How does Job go? Anyways, when you go to sleep, you got to prepare yourself so that, if you're watching news or doing all this crap, your sleep won't be so good. But if you're concentrating on what you desire, what you want, don't, concentrate on the bad stuff that happened in the day. Concentrate on your goals, on your future, on, what you desire in life, because there is an energy that goes out in you that'll draw in what you desire. All right, let's get off of that soapbox. Gallium Aparine. Let's see what it says. Let me have a drink of coffee. 25. It's going to be a shorter one today. Well, probably not. I can't help myself. Fresh plant extract poultices, it says, for this goosegrass or clovers. Fluid extract, a cup of water or milk 3 times a day. So an fluid extract was just setting it in water. And I made one recently. I put it in water. I let it out in the sun for a minute, shook a few times. Now it's in the fridge. And then I took out the herb, and now I got a juice that has vitamin C in it and a lot of the stuff that is great for what you need. And that's what that fluid extract. You can also put that extract on a rag or something to make a poultice out of it. You can make a salve out of it, and great for ulcers and skin disorders, eczema, and all that. Gallium has had no proving. So yeah, that's what I say. You need more provings for this stuff. So we're going on herbally. But it is a popular remedy for cancer given internally and externally, and also for scrofulous swellings and ulcers, which is gland swellings. Sorry, and ulcers, and swellings of the skin, which is a lot of tubercular miasm type of stuff. I don't know why I'm burping all of a sudden. It is further used as a diuretic and a solvent for gravel and stones. Gallium has cured a case of nodulated tumor of the tongue, diagnosed to be cancer. So they know that this has cured it, clinically. And a case of psoriasis of the left hand has been reported cured. Substantial doses were given in each case, and in the later poultices of the herb were used as well. So for the hand, they used a poultice. Grimmer says that, which is a homeopath, an herbalist or whatever, says this remedy has cured a case of nodular tumor of the tongue. Gallium acts on the urinary organ as a diuretic, so they'll urinate more, and of use in dropsies, which is fluid retention. Oops, I am going all the way. Gravel and kidney stones, dysuria and cystitis. It has power of suspending or modifying cancerous actions. Gallium has clinical confirmation in its use in cancerous ulcers and nodulated tumors of the tongue, inveterate skin disorders, and scurvy. Favors healthy granulation and ulcerated surfaces. So that's what it's all good for. It's not a proven medicine, proven homeopathically. What do I say by what do I mean proven? You take the medicine, you prepare a homeopathic medicine, you give it to the person till they overdose. You get all these symptoms like I show you on this board. This board is the materia medica. It's got the medical, the mind, the abdomen, back, chest, all that stuff is all parts of you. In other words, I overdose on it homeopathically, which can be antidoted real easily. I overdose on it, then I basically write down all the symptoms that I got and I turn it in. Now you do that with hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people, and they give you all these symptoms. You'll notice the same symptoms will come up with a lot of people. There will be some odd symptoms. The same symptoms in a lot of people would be a 3. It would be a dark, bold print, and that would be a major one. Then there'll be some other symptoms that are not so major. That'd be a small bold print, and then the regular print would be symptoms that you got that few people had here and there. It wasn't a major consensus over the whole group. So that's the way it works. Once it's proven, now you know exactly what it's good for homeopathically, let alone herbally, and you can employ it for people that have a disease that matches the symptoms that they got from the proving. So whatever a substance will do to you physically, it'll cure that same sickness homeopathically. Like cures like. Basic first principle of homeopathic medicine. And you, as usual, you can age, but you don't have to get old. Depends on what you eat, how you move, and the stress